Hello and welcome to Fernbus Coach Simulator. This is Date Gaming here, and hopefully we're going to get a good look at this game today. So, I didn't want to do an update. I want to give this game some time to settle out. It's from Astrogen, who aren't the type like to just release crappy simulators. Like, I know they do have them out there. Like, I have the problem with Bus Simulator 16 and the T500 of it won't release a steering lock on this wheel, so I have to either fight with the steering lock or just disable force feedback. Anyway, let's take a look through the options. This game, I've been playing it a while. I do like this. I didn't have this problem with... I didn't have the resolution problem with a lot of people. I run full screen borderless because I run a second monitor. Whether that stays that way, we will see. Now, these are way of the setting setup. You can change a lot of these in game. Mirror quality for me is a big thing because I need my mirrors working well in a lot of these games. Let's see. I have the music turned off. They have added music into the menus, but I've never been a fan of menu music. Usually I prefer to, because I run dual monitor, I can just like click off quickly. This game has a weird feature, and I've never seen another YouTuber say about it. But my steering wheel can still control it while I'm like controlling music on the other screen. Or if I'm like sending a message on Skype or Steam or something. Anyway, I had some problems, but they seem to have fixed it where it would randomly like ignore my steering wheel, and I'd have to restart the game and replug in my steering wheel to get it to detect the steering wheel again. But they seem to have fixed that now. Here's hoping. So let's get in. Let's start getting a look at the game. Let's make her. Right now, I have this set the career mode. There's a free mode where you get to drive around. I'm going to create just a new route for this. Start Frankfurt Airport because I like it. And we'll just do a short route Frankfurt Airport to Frankfurt. I'm using Lightcam. I'm using a heavily outdated version of Lightcam because they've released more updated versions, but you have to buy them. I will hopefully be doing that soon. Again, my goal with YouTube has always been to supplement my income to provide for itself. And to provide for things like I'm going to need a new steering wheel at some point, or if I wanted to get the farming simulator panel for extra controls. Now I'm just going to leave that check-in time at it as it is. Let's get a look. I'm going to change this, but I want to show something off. Oh, they've customized. I think this is our actual paint job because like this is Flixbus are on board. Flixbus is a genuine company in Germany. The loading screen's pretty new. Apparently they've added like raindrops colliding with the windscreen. But I'm running everything medium. I only have a GTX 970 in there. I can't run everything in this game in high. Even at that, I don't get a full 60 when gaming. So I'm sort of wary of that. The load time, it's less than GTA, but that's not saying much. And the other thing I have to consider is I am recording. This route should be nice and short. We'll get a look. I'll probably pause the recording while I do the drive because it's one thing I like about Lightcam over Fraps is I can just pause the recording, do like say I'm doing a boring segment that I've done 100 times I've shown the mechanic already in the video. I'm just gonna do the thing. The reason I'm starting at night is I want to show off one thing I really don't like about this game at the minute. If it ever loads. Right, I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, and we are in. I will probably be doing a day route because I think it'll make a better video for you. I wonder do those rise when you back up to them? Probably not. Anyway, this is the boss. I will show it off during daytime. They seem to have improved it a little bit. Like it just used to be like C2 above the fuel cap. There used to be a circle radiating from there. Wonder if the headlights got rid of it. There's a bug here. I'm not sure if they fixed it where these lights would not come on at night. Let's get the coach running. That's far better. I might just do the drive at night now. If I was more fit. Now you can open the side panels. That is far better because, like, unlike before, the lights only came up to about here before. I'm not joking, like, you barely could see a car length in front of you. And that was super fucking scary. The other thing is it's running at 60. Right, let's get the ball set up anyway. I need that. I'm not gonna hit the announcement. I find during the winter that the passengers like it up that little bit. I have no clue what a lot of this does, except for I only know that's hazards. And I know some of these are for raising and lowering the bus. If any proper coach drivers wants to educate me, feel free. I have a funny feeling that would be illegal in real life while driving. Because I'm not sure about... Oh, they've added... That's all very nice now. I've just noticed the thing with... You can tell I've done a whole lot. I hope that doesn't show up. Sorry, I have a new phone update with Windows 10 where all my like text messages and all show up. And I can actually reply to them from my computer now. Things I would like to see in this game. I would sort of like... So, see this dial down here, this NRD. That's your gear selector. Like, I'm... Sorry if you didn't see my paddle. That's something I've never seen someone comment on before. That's a reversing camera. I would love to bind that to my T500 RS. Like, not just scrolling through. I have a shifter here. I will be showing it off in American Truck Simulator because... Well, I'll explain that more in the video. Let's get driving and see if it's gotten any better. Let's turn that off. Let's log into that. Also, in case anyone's wondering, because I've never, like, this confused me at the start, that's your settings. Where the fuck is this? Is it under controls? What I'm looking for, if you're wondering, is I'm looking for game. Steering camera off. I read that in the patch notes. They actually have like a ton of games. I'll be looking in the track IR5 because this game's getting it, and I want. That's all I really want for American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck. I want SCS to patch Euro Truck to have the gearing of American Truck because 8.4 is a more realistic layout. I have it modded in, but it's not unsynchronized like it should be. So what I mean by unsynchronized is you sort of rev match. I'll link the Engineering Explained video So what you sort of do is you sort of shift it in the neutral, you let the revs drop, and then you slide it in the next gear. It actually goes a lot smoother than that when you get good at it. They said they fixed the transmission in this too. I had a bug with this where, like, you would stop at the lights and it would still think it's in 6th gear, so the transmission would pull the bus forward to try and get it to not stall out. I actually think this is a regulated manual, which means the clutch and the shifting is handled pneumatically by a computer. And the easy way to do that is in an automatic you take off the handbrake and drive and it will creep. I swear those used to be auto cancelling. Now this hasn't got that bug. It did at the start have the bus simulator bug of not releasing my steering lock, but it does now. I just wish I had some road feeling. They've also tightened up the... There I'm dropping down to 40, now I'm driving. They also seem to have tightened up the whatchamacallit. Ah, fuck it up again. They seem to have tightened up the speed limits. You don't get a lot of the traffic violations when you don't have any passengers, because there's no one to complain about it. Yeah, lighting's a lot better. Like, it's drivable now. They just work on that optimization a little bit. Maybe have a little bit of a longer draw distance so it's not having to summon as much when I'm driving. The other thing is I have to get used to that, is the German road system is weird. Once they split lanes, it's weird. It does like a bump on the side of the road where everyone pulls across. And it does that to merge lanes too. But there's no road warnings for it. You're just sort of expected to know it's there. There's no road warnings that I can see. They have road warnings to warn you you're merging, which means there's possibly going to be one up here. I just want to out of this lane because I have a sneaking suspicion it's the wrong lane. I'm only going like 50 and he was going too slow. There's one of them. And that's to merge out the 4th lane from 2-2's join. I have to say the game feels a lot like, I know it's running down 30, that could be because I'm recording. I actually find light cam a lot less intrusive than Fraps. But the only thing is, Fraps works on nearly every game. And at times light cam's game detection's a wee bit wonky. Or at times it crashes, or at times it plays up. Generally I find Fraps a more stable program, but for a start at the minute I'm writing out my hard drive and it's a little bit full. And Fraps just, with this recording, it'd have my hard drive full already. I'm only like 14 minutes in because I paused the recording during the loading screen. It only took like a minute or two according to the timer on my phone after I paused the recording. I love this game. I imagine there'd be some sort of, because you can hear and feel the road bumping. I'm really hoping I'm using a new headset. I'm always paranoid that this sound won't come out. I should have done a test recording before. This is one I cannot see road markings here. This is a main bus route. I'm not sure the way salting works in Germany. That road would be salted to hell. The other thing is, it seems to be sort of generating some of the road texture in front of me. I know they have one thing I've always argued that SAS should have as a randomly generated roadwork script, because you sort of know where the roadworks are. far prefer this. I wish my local airport was like this. Well, my local is the one you would actually fly out of because of my local's wild expensive to fly out there. You have to pay for a ticket. You have to get a ticket. If you're out within 15 minutes, they don't charge you, but you know with flights, at times that's not always the case. Anyway, open this. Please, deposit baggage, please.
Grüezi, bitte sehr.
Now, I have the quick check-in, I'm quite happy with it. The way you would do this if you didn't have it is you go, right, Melech Pullman.
Vielen Dank.
Yes.
Mahlzeit, bin ich hier richtig? Danke.
What I like
Mahlzeit,
to do is
mein
I just
Ticket.
like to do this.
Danke. Mahlzeit, ich benötige noch ein Ticket für die Fahrt.
Now the way to check this is you can double check it here if you're checking for stops. We're going to Frankfurt, so that's fine.
Vielen Dank.
Ciao, Sie wollen bestimmt mein Ticket. Ich glaube, Sie fahren doch nicht in meine
Sie
Richtung.
wollen bestimmt mein Ticket sehen. Cool.
Grüezi, bitte sehr. Dankeschön.
Hi.
Now you all get people like that.
Fahren sehr freundlich.
Hello, mein Ticket.
And I wonder how they fixed the thing where
Grüezi, vielen Dank.
I honestly think you should walk off a little bit to give people space to get onto the bus.
Grüezi, bin ich hier richtig? Danke.
Or even
Hi,
sit
das
down
Ticket,
undercover.
Ups. Ich suche mir gerade eine neue
bitte sehr.
Verbindung.
Dankeschön.
Servus, Sie wollen bestimmt mein Ticket. Cool.
I think that's beautiful, like you see the way the snow sort of gliding way faster than it's coming down the way, but it's gliding with the side of it. It's not colliding with the windscreen, but I think that's something to do with it.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei Flixbus.
I think that's something more to do with my graphics settings. I think maybe it only does that ultra high. The other thing is, I've arrived here 3:56. I'm actually not too early. Especially with coach driving, you want to be at an airport a little bit early. I'm leaving the engine running
Mit weiteren
because
Sicherheitshinweisen
wir
und
passen.
Infos zu unserem Snack.
Now you're supposed to hit that because that's all the safety lights. I think it's things like onboard Wi-Fi, there's a toilet back here, out the outside of bus office, just inside this door. It's also things like
Sitze sind mit Steckdosen.
Wi-Fi if you want to book another trip. And I think they can go on the app and see the arrival time following the line there.
Auf Flixbus.
It's also please serve, I think. That's just basic standard, I suppose.
Natürlich wollen wir unseren Service ständig weiter verbessern. Für Feedback zu eurer Fahrt nutzt bitte den Fragebogen, den wir euch per E-Mail zuschicken. Wir danken für eure Aufmerksamkeit und wünschen eine entspannte Fahrt an Bord bei
Now
Flixbus.
nicely, because of tourists and all,
Hello and welcome to
It does that.
Flixbus. We're glad to have you on board and that we can get you to your favorite destination today. Before we set off,
now I'm going
we
to
would
pause
like
the
to share some
recording next and wait
information
until
about
the
the journey.
departure time.
The wearing
when I
of
top up my
seatbelts
drink
is
and all, I will
compulsory
see you
on
in a
board the
moment.
bus. Therefore, please.
Alright, back early from topping up my drink and all, so I'm going to show you one of the nice little features is Gibson Hall mandatory departure. I'm not sure what the proper thing is. As far as I'm concerned, a minute early. If I were coach driver, I were a minute early, I'd go look. I'd say there's only these two waiting for a thing like. One thing I love them to add is like passengers that arrive here just like on the dot at 401 or 402. Because I know people in my city, for example, are wild bad for. If you tell them they arrive at 4 o'clock, they'll arrive on the dot at 4 o'clock. So, if you lose points if you don't hit start right, by the way. Let's get going. I know I really should have taken it out of gear and stuff. I like they've added auto centering while you're driving. Also learn your cruise control button. I have it set the same as American Truck Simulator because I like to use that a lot. I hope they fix the bug where they had a bug here where you'd sit here, indicate to get out, and people would start slowing down there. Like, the other thing is, the other fucking NPC. No, their lights don't show up in the fucking mirror. So yeah, bring that back, please. Their lights show up, but they're like pinpricks. The bus is nice and quiet. Sorry, I was just adjusting my volume there. I need to get out of this lane, which is scary as fuck at night. I'm used to your truck where some of those junctions, that lane, I'm not sure it's the out or the inner, I always get those mixed up. That lane's the exit, there's no pull off. The thing I do also love is you have a habit of like your dashboard or something in your truck will block your view, and unless you're in the UK, you're sort of scarpered in terms of your view. The steering's way too light to me. With the right lane. Slow down for a corner. I'm not in danger of hitting anything. I know I'm changing lanes a little bit quicker than I should be. But one thing I agree with Squirrel and all is we should be able to change that GPS. Like, you want it closer in when you're in the city, but you want it farther away out here so you can see, like, oh, I have to start changing lane to be in this lane in 20 kilometers.
Könnten Sie vielleicht etwas langsamer fahren?
Shit, I didn't notice the speed limit dropped. That's my own fault, I'm not paying attention. The other thing is, I'm used to speed limits being a lot laxer. They've improved the voices a lot. Like, I had the voices broken on my game for the longest time. I know I shouldn't do that, it's illegal, so but I'm not the best driver in the world in this game at the moment. Like, it's taken me a while to get used to having the length of this bus, because I'm used to length, but I'm used to articulated length, which acts differently. I think this bus has some fucking kick to it. Like, this bus does not go super slow. Like, there is one that's taking off, but that's a comfort thing. That's actually built into the transmission, I think. For comfort of the passengers is... It's not there at the minute, it was there. But there was there before. There was a lighter area on the speedometer. But basically what that is that's where it won't give you full acceleration, so you don't just like flatten your passengers. It's also reminding me why I am so glad I'm in a manual transmission American Truck Simulator, because at times this thing's so slow shifting. There are things that sort of skipping gears, which is bugging me. I'd rather be shifting myself with splitters. the view from these buses. Well, I tend to refer to them as coaches. My own personal thing is buses or inner city coaches or between cities. That makes sense. But I've had no air conditioning complaints. You don't need strictly to turn on the toilet and the Wi-Fi and all when taking off. I just do it for as a habit. Because it means I don't forget before I take off. I don't know all the keyboard controls. I'm sort of driving with my keyboard on my lap at the minute.
Hast du
Shit.
den Blitzer gesehen?
That's not the way the radar works. I'd also like the option to turn those off, is those barriers telling me this is not the correct way. Because they're sort of unrealistic. And so they're arriving 4:55. I think they're expecting more traffic. Now, the only time I've ever been late is taking off from Frankfurt at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh boy. Those are roads I don't wait for the time, I always go early. And the reason is traffic actually does pulse in this game. Of there are times you're coming into a city or you're leaving a city and the traffic is just immense. Like, that's one of the reasons I think this game's actually running at such a reasonable track. It's running at 30 now, I think. Yeah, 30. Is that the traffic gets seriously bad in cities during certain rush hours, like the ones you know, like lunch, just after lunchtime, 8 o'clock in the morning. Things like that, like, I really love that cities genuinely have rush hours in this game, because you never feel that you're like an American truck. You're never like sitting stuck in traffic. Now the rumours are, after this, the developers of this game are working on a competitor for your truck. For one, they better fix the fucking transmissions. Like, I want a manual truck. Because I'm used to driving a manual truck, I'm used to using gearing for braking as well. And one of the things I really loved the first day I got the shifter was before you hit a hill in a manual, you can downshift and give yourself that little boost. And in fact, very often you won't get done for speeding just before a hill. Don't quote me on that, by the way. But yeah, you speed up a bit because you're going to lose speed on the hill, and you bring yourself and make sure your engine's in that power band, so you lose as little speed as possible. But you can't do that in an automatic, you're just trusting the transmission's computer, which sort of sucks. The other thing is they made automatics super realistic in American Truck Simulator compared to Euro Truck, in that all trucks have, I call them a regulated manual, they're classified as an automatic, of where the transmission itself is actually a manual transmission, but it's controlled by computers, and they use pneumatic air pressure to shift and manage the clutch and all.
Überpünktlich. Das ist ja kaum zu glauben.
see they're all collecting their baggage and all and just walking away. Good. So just check after everyone off the bus. They all had reading lights, so they'll switch them off. Anyway, this is Fernbus. Second, I will do one quick thing. Is I want to show you this. Tickets sold 1 out of 1. I like little things like you do get penalised because you'll get penalised in real life for doing that, is like refueling when you don't need to. Air conditioning? It must mean when I was walking around talking news and leaving the thing away. Maintain work time. Now that is something that they've only really started to add on. Is if you're doing a really long journey, you're supposed to stop and take rest breaks. To give your passengers a chance. I don't see why they wouldn't a day like that. They stretch their legs and they stretch your legs yourself, get a cup of coffee. It's sort of shitty at the moment. You just pull in and it sucks. As soon as you're across the space enough, it sucks you in. It doesn't even turn off the engine. You can basically just wait for it, the black screen for a second, come back to your bus, hit the accelerator and go. Anyway, this is Fernbus. I highly recommend it. It has some ways to go, but at the minute, the developers, they're making promises and they're actually starting to deliver. And they're putting in stuff. And they're listening to YouTubers and they're talking to YouTubers and they're having a constant stream of communication. And that it just shows, that really is what every developer should be doing now. Because I'd rather have a developer work for 3 months on something that they've talked to people and people want, rather than adding a feature like, I'm going to actually quote one from this game, turning with the steering wheel. No. No. I know you sort of want to look where you're going when you're turning, but in a big bus of this length you need to be looking left and right at your mirrors. The reason I sort of didn't hit thing is, one, they've improved the AI a lot. Like, I'd say it's sort of better than American trucks at the minute. Like, it's used to chalk up cities. You used to... They turn down curb violations because the times you had to pull up on the curb and you had to drive across the pavement to get out of the way of certain traffic jams, because they would just jam up the road. But anyway, this is Fernbus. It is a fabulous game. This one thing I don't like is you have to come out to the main menu and go back in, because I want to show you the bus during the daytime. And just a couple little features that I would like. Start at Frankfurt. We'll start at daytime. I'd also like to be able to enter digits into there rather than just scroll through, because if you're going to like 8:30, you have to sit and click that button 30 fucking times. Come on, right, I'll pause this for a second. It's just I want to show off the thing with the bus during the daytime. Well, welcome back. I just want to quickly show off the bus. So this is the Man's Line Coach C. It's got 3 luggage compartments here. I would like to be able to open this compartment and just show off the engine. Also, the other thing, you can't really open this compartment. Though I think that's actually for the toilet, so that's actually good. They need to add some stuff in, so as far as I'm aware, they had features in this game. I'm not trust, I never checked they fixed this bug. So they used to have a bug where... Nope, they haven't. So you see it sounds like I'm standing inside. Yeah, I like having my name and things. But do you see how it sounds like I'm standing inside? That really shouldn't be a thing. Another thing is, I believe that is a flap with the emergency shut off. But anyway, this is Fernbus and it's a fabulous game, and even sitting in the city, it's running sort of okay. It's running up at 50. I think it'd be a little bit higher if I wasn't recording right now. But you can see the traffic's certainly a lot busier than it was coming in at 4 AM. Like, it's not as chock-a-block as I've seen it getting, but it is a lot busier. The road texture's beautiful. Even this, it sort of feels cold. The way the snow's lying, like, I think they'd probably clean that up in Berlin because someone slipped. Interesting, you can't vault that. But even though it's not completed up, like little side streets and car parks like this, can I get through that gap? Yes, I can. Things I need to work on is like these black robots. I'll post a picture of on Imager and I'll drop it down in the description of one time I had an argument with a driver. And eventually I will do like a 2 or 3 parter where I do a drive, like a proper long drive. That still bugs me, the fact that that sounds like I'm inside. Anyway, this is Date Gaming, hopefully back for a good while for the time being. I've upgraded, I'm in an i7 790K, 16 gigs of RAM, a GTX 970. I'd hope to upgrade that at some point. I hope to see you all soon. Have a wonderful week.